Hello everyone, welcome to our next topic. In this topic, we will see understanding supply concept in GST. We will understand the supply concept. So first, understand why we need to understand the supply concept of under GST. So before when GST concept is not arrived, at that time the indirect tax has no the concept of a supply. That indirect tax stage, we levy or different tax rule, just like excise duty for what was charged on the good manufacturing when they were taken out of the factory. Service tax is levied for the certain rules as the point of taxation rule, and for the service render, we charge VAT for service. So in the before GST concept, there is a no supply concept. We charge what according to different tax law. If it is a manufacturing, we charge the excise duty. If it is a service, we charge VAT. But after coming of the GST, there's a concept of a supply, because supply is considered of taxable event for charging tax. Because in GST there's a different tax rate, and when we charge tax, it is depend on the supply concept. So supply is a considered taxable event of charging tax. It is liable to pay tax arise at the time of when we supply of goods or service. At that time, it is liable to pay tax is arise. Thus, it is determined whether that transaction are fall under the supply or not with the help of supply. We can understand that the whatever the product, goods or service we are transaction, they are falling under the GST or not. Okay, so understand what is GST supply under GST. Supply that includes sales, transfer, exchange, barter license, means rental, disposal. If any person take either of this transaction for the course or furtherance of business consideration, they come under the supply under GST. Okay, so means if you transfer some goods or service in cash or other currency, or you are transferring your ownership title of product or service, or you have taken a rent or exchanging or transferring, this all come under a supply. According to this, we can check what rate will be charged under the GST. Now, what is type of supply? There's a lot types of supply under GST. So type of supply majorly categorized in two types: taxable supply and non-taxable supply. So taxable supply is referred to supply of goods or service that are taxable under GST. Okay, taxable supply means which we have supplied goods or service under the taxable GST, and the registered person who is registered in a GST can take a claim refund of a tax during which they have paid during a purchase in when they are filing GST. They can claim ITC for the purchase. Whatever the things they have purchased, for that they can claim ITC. Under the taxable supply, there is a three primary category: regular taxable supply, nil rated, and zero rated supply. So regular taxable supply, who is that regular taxable supply? Whenever you supply an goods or service which attract a GST rate that's 0% within India, it become a regular taxable supply. And nil rated supply, whenever you supply goods which attract 0%, whichever 0% GST rate, they have come under nil rated supply. And zero rate supply, whenever you have export supply to a seized unit, means special economic zone area, if you are supplying goods or service, that involve become a Zero, even the same would attract GST rate that is 0%. When you sold within India, such are deemed to be zero rated. Means if you supply some special economic zone area, then even that is a taxable under GST, but it will be calculated 0% GST rate if you supply special economic zone area. I hope you have understand taxable, what is taxable supply, regular taxable supply, nil rated, zero rated supply under GST, and what is supply under GST. Now, next type of supply is non-taxable supply. So, non-taxable supply, which the supply of these goods and service does not occur any tax, that is non-taxable supply. In non-taxable supply, there is also two primary categories: exempt supply and non-GST supply. So, what is exempt supply? Exempt supply of goods or service which do not attract any GST, even through the within the purview of GST. That said, the registered taxpayer cannot claim ITC input tax using make such supply. Exempt supply is like a composition supply. When someone is registered in composite supply, they cannot claim ITC. They are coming under the exempt supply. And non-GST supply, that refers supply of items which are outside the preview of GST law, means which are not covered under GST law right still now. It is not, we are waiting for the notified by the government, like a human consumption of alcohol, it is non-GST supply. Human consumption, which we human drink, that alcohol, that is non-GST supply. We didn't charge GST. Petrol, crude oil, right now there's are no GST is charged. It is under the government. Whenever they have notified, we have to be charged GST. So this is an example of non-GST supply of human consumption, alcohol, petroleum, crude oil, that are example of non-GST supply, which is still outside the preview of a GST law, which are still waiting for the government notify. When the government notified that they are come under the GST, then we will charge they will come again in a GST. Okay. Some of this also note that the following transaction, which are neither considered as a supply or goods or service. If you supply goods non-taxable territory to another without, means if you supply goods someone if you supply goods import, if you from outside of India, you have to purchase some goods, okay, and without entering into the India, that are not considered to be a supply. Okay, but means if you you have purchased some goods, okay, from outside of India, and before the clearance of warehouse, you have sold that goods to another person, that is not come under the supply of goods or service. So some of our more example, if some is supply of goods non-taxable category to another without entering India, that also not come and consider as a supply of goods or service. Now, under the characteristic of taxable supply. Supply of goods or service, a taxable supply may be made through the delivery of product or rendering of the service. Supply of goods or service, taxable supply, what means what is the supply of goods or service? Taxable supply made through the at the time of delivery of product or service, we apply a tax. Supply is applied on at that time. It covers wide range of business deals such as the purchase, lease, provided service. It is come under the supply of goods or service. taxable or tax exempted. Next characteristic is taxable or tax exempted. The GST are comparable composition tax applied taxable supply. However, some commodities such as a critical necessity um like when we supply consumption tax is apply on the all the taxable supplies things. But some commodity like which is a critical necessities like a food, medical service might not be subject of tax. Like for example, ambulance service which carry these keys from one place to another, or patient at that time, they are not covered under GST. They are necessity, not a our this carry from one place to another. These are necessity. So we didn't calculate GST on that. Made using taxable incentives. A taxable person is an individual or organization if they are registered in GST and make the supply over they oversee gathering, sending the GST to authorization. Okay, they are considered as the taxable person. In territory subject to tax, a taxable supply take place in area where the GST is imposed. Okay, it is used in the entire nation, but is also applied particular state or area. GST in territory subject, if we can say, taxable supply take place area where the GST is imposed, where GST is applicable. But in also it is applicable for entire nation, but some state or area still it is out from the GST. For consideration only, supply must include consideration. Without means include some cash or transaction between that, which might take a shape of cash, product, or service. Means in the exchange of something with the consideration, it is under the supply. During business hour, a taxable supply made in a course of a company, normal operation made in a course of company. But there is a distance between business and non-business interpersonal exchange. There's a difference. During business, if you can say, a taxable supply is made of course of company. Normal operation is a course of company, but some of the supply is also taxable if it is business or for non-business or interpersonal exchange. That also be a come under the supply. So important concept of under GST, supply under GST. So supply is levy and collection of GST. Now we have come to the levy and collection of the GST. It is an important concept of GST. The notion, you can say supply under the law is an essential. It establishes taxable transaction, the relevant tax, and the condition. Means levy and collection is what? Of the GST. By the GST law, there is some rate, relevant tax rate, and condition are compliance. In what condition that what rate will be charges, in what condition it will be called as a supply of goods or service, what rate will be charges on that. It is mentioned in the levy and collection. To make sure that they fulfill the tax duty and stay out to trouble non-compliance, business must identify and account of their supply. Why we introduce a levy and collection of GST? To make sure that the taxpayer know that they timely fulfill the tax duties, pay the tax duties without any trouble or non-compliance business. That's why we have introduced the levy and collection of GST. It is an important concept of supply. Now, next is composite supply. So, composite supply is that composite is so come to the composite supply. There is a conjunction of two supply. One is the principal in an ordinary case of business that are that is a composition, that tax will be levied. Means composition supply. What is a composition supply? Conjunction of two supplies, one of which is the principal supply, is ordinary case of business. Means in the example, if we can say, if we go to the hotel to stay, where we get the Wi-Fi facility, restaurant facility also there, and but the principal supply of hotel is for accommodation. We go for there in a hotel to stay for accommodation facility. We not go for their Wi-Fi facility or restaurant facility. We go for their accommodation, means stay facility. So whatever the GST rate of the per room rent in the hotel, that will be applicable under the composite supply. Means primary good of service, primary goods or service is that rate is applied on to a composite supply. Means in the same principal supply, supply of goods or service which is predominant, which are natural bundle, that for example of the rest, like a hotel where we going to stay there. So we are going to for the stay. So principal supply of that hotel is for accommodation, not for the Wi-Fi or restaurant service. So whatever the GST charge for the room rent, it will be applicable on that. And mixed supply under GST. Mixed supply, there is also two supply, conjunction of two supply, but made by the taxable, two supplies made by the taxable person for a single price. For single price made by the taxable person, like a gift hamper, where the taxable person prepare a gift hamper, add a kurkure, lace, cold drink, dry fruits, add and make a one gift hamper. So primary object of this gift hamper, it is not a primary object or composite supply. It is prepared by the taxable person. So one in a one gift hamper pack. So whatever the highest rate in the gift hamper, if it is a kurkure, is a, for example, if kurkure have a 18% of GST rate, highest among the all the product, then the taxable rate will be 18%. In the mixed supply, it is the supply of all the, it is created by the taxable person, supply all the product in one form and prepare one a gift hamper or anything and sell to the consumer. That time the rate of the GST will be highest rate of the GST will be charged on that product. And composite supply, the principal supply rate will be charged. And in mixed supply, what will be the highest rate of the product, goods or service on that highest rate of GST will be charged in mixed supply. Let's understand between difference between composition supply and mixed supply. So composite supply, two or more supply, one of which is a principal supply, we charge rate of that. In mixed supply, consists of two or more supply made together for a single price. जब हम when we like a gift hamper, we added different types of product in a gift hamper and sale in a single price. At that time, we charge highest GST rate. In a composite supply, is naturally bundled. Obviously, when you go to hotel or you purchase a mobile, you're getting a charger, cable, USB cable, and mobile phone. But naturally, it is bundle. Natural bundle that you will, when you purchase a mobile phone, you will get the charger, data cable, and everything will be there in a one box. But main purpose of purchasing is mobile phone. Mobile phone is a main purpose of the seller, that he is selling a mobile phone. So it is a natural bundle. For some example, like a hotel. In a hotel, you are going to stay there, but there is a facility of a breakfast, free facility of Wi-Fi service. It is natural bundle in hotel. So it is natural bundle, that is the composite supply. And mixed supply is non-natural bundle, which like a gift hamper. It is not natural bundle that you have to purchase. If you are purchasing kurkure, you will get a cold drink. It is not a natural bundle. We are creating that. Taxable person are creating creating that bundle. So it is called mixed supply. Composite tax liability shall be rate of a principal supply, as I mentioned. In mixed supply, highest rate applicable for the supply attract highest rate of the tax. Composite supply, since composite supply is regarding single source, it is a single source. It is not eligible for ITC. It is normal and not eligible for ITC. But in mixed supply, you can claim ITC. Okay, and composite as a restaurant, it serves both food and drink. It is a composite supply, which is a food is a principal supply. So according to the food, they will charge the GST. In mixed supply, wedding package that includes photograph, decorating, catering is a mixed supply, which is the highest tax rate will be applicable for that. Highest rate is attract on the supply. I hope you have understand composite and mixed supply. I hope you have understand the concept of supply concept under GST. We can quick recap. So supply under GST is important for understanding what type of tax rate is applicable of supply of goods or service. It is come under the supply or not. For identify for that, we need to understand the supply under GST. Types of supply, there is a taxable and non-taxable supply. In taxable supply, whoever regular person who paid the tax under GST and applicable for take a claim of ITC, it is called taxable supply. In taxable supply, there's three primary categories: regular taxable supply, who's regular taxpayer; nil rated tax supply, it is come under zero rated. Whatever goods and services come under zero rated, and zero rated supply means when we supply goods or service to the cease economic zone area, then it come under zero rated supply under GST. Even in the normal, it have to be charged GST, but if we supply special economic zone area, then it will be zero rated. Next type is non-taxable supply. When we supply goods and service that not incurred any tax, it includes like exempt supply, some of the supply which government notified that is exempt from the GST, and non-GST supply which is still notified under the government, which is in the future government can notify that, like in exempt supply we can take an example of composite supply. Now taxable characteristic, when we supply goods or service, at the time of supply of goods or service, that time we can modify that is a taxable or not taxable, taxable or tax exempted supply. However, some commodity that necessity like food, medical service are necessity, it is not subject of tax. Taxable incentives, whenever someone is registered in a GST, they can claim whenever they purchase some goods, they can claim ITC. In territory subject of tax or to tax, some area, even GST is applicable in entire nation, but still some area or state are not applicable not imposed in a GST till now. For consideration only, supply must be include consideration means exchange of something. If you purchase a goods in exchange of cash, product or service, that is called consideration. That is also come under a supply. During business hour means if your taxable supply is made in a course of company normal operation, if you use for non-business purpose or interpersonal exchange, that also come under the supply. And now important concept of supply is levy and collection of GST. How we can collect and levy and collection of GST? It helps to understand and what is the relevant tax rate for the product or service we have to charge, what condition is there. Levy and collection help to understand to the taxpayer so that they can pay tax on time without any trouble and non-compliance in business. Then composite supply. Composite supply consists of two or more supply on one of which is the principal supply. Which is a principal supply, that tax rate will be charges in a under the composite supply. And in mixed supply, which consists of two or more supply made together for a single price, that time we charge highest rate of the tax, supply that attract highest rate of tax, that will be charges under the GST. So I hope you have understand the concept of supply under GST. If you have any doubt or any question regarding that, you can simply email us info@skillanything.com or contact in this number. Thank you so much for watching the video.